Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Nowhere is this more true than in the case of teachers and students. While I wish I remembered all the specific information I learned in my biology class in high school, what I actually remember is how my teacher made me feel curious about the world. I wish I remembered all the writing lessons from my AP English class, but what I do remember is my teacher making me feel like a strong writer and feeling proud of my work. Of course, as a current teacher, I wish my students would remember every single word I say, but of course, that's not the case. However, for students, feeling a rapport with your teacher is as crucial for your success in the classroom as anything else. From the teacher's perspective, the importance of building relationships with students is even greater. Research shows that the teacher-student relationship is the building block for all class activities. So basically, if I want them to remember anything, I have to invest in relationships. So how do we go about building these types of relationships? In Weimer's article titled "Building Rapport with Your Students," she claims that there are 5 factors for building rapport: respect toward the students, being approachable, having open and honest communication, genuinely caring for your students, and maintaining a positive attitude and a sense of humor in the classroom. Basically, be a good person. Be a nice person. Be a person who is curious about other people and wants to actually learn about them and build a relationship. Be respectful. Be approachable. Be honest with your communication, and get to know them so that you will naturally and genuinely start to care for them. This not only builds trust, but it just creates a better overall learning environment. As instructors, we should model relationship building by sharing about our own lives and encourage our students to do the same. We need to share more than just what is on the syllabus and, where we went to school. We need to share about who we really are, what we really care about. What are the big things in our lives, our families, our friends, our hobbies, our studies? What gets us excited? That's how we build relationships with students. Supiano adds that universities should create opportunities for faculty and students to interact outside of the classroom to get to know each other as people. This can lead to mentorships and genuine relationships, both of which support students' long-term success. In the online classroom, instructors can make introduction videos so the students can see their faces and get to know them a little bit. For me, a best practice is simply asking questions and really listening to students. Ask about their lives and let them talk. I find that most of the relationship building happens in the before and the after and the in-between moments in class. The times when you're just hanging out and being a person. That's how we actually get to know each other. Share stories about your weekends and your everyday life. And through this process of getting to know the students, you'll also learn about their needs and interests as learners. You can also be more intentional about learning about your students' needs by asking them to complete a survey or interest inventory at the beginning of the course. With this information, you can purposefully create differentiated material for your students and even adjust your content. Many of us already teach or will be teaching in schools with a diverse student body. As teachers, it is important to prepare to be a culturally responsive educator by first working to become aware of personal biases and potentially working through paradigm shifts in the way we approach curriculum and instruction. In addition to potentially changing course content to be more reflective of the students in your class, students should work to engage the students as equal partners in learning and teaching, effectively leading to a role reversal between the teacher and the student. Students should feel empowered to educate the teacher about their culture or background, and teachers should be open to learning. I experienced this firsthand when I worked in Denver at a school with a majority Latino population. There were many times when I had to step out of the teacher role and be an active learner. I had to ask questions and empower my students to answer them. This not only served to strengthen our relationships with each other, but it just overall strengthened the culture in the classroom. As a Christian, supporting culture and diversity in the classroom is inherently and definitionally Christian. In Matthew 22, Jesus commands us to love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all of your soul and with all of your mind. But Jesus doesn't stop there. He goes on to say, love your neighbor as yourself. Supporting culture and celebrating diversity in our classrooms is loving our neighbor well. It is loving our neighbor as ourself. It is seeing all people as we were made, in the image of God, and all for different purposes, as stated in 1 Corinthians 12 through 13. Just as a body, though one, has many parts, but all its many parts from one body, so it is with Christ. For we are all baptized by one Spirit, so as to form one body, whether Jews or Gentiles, slave or free. And we were all given the Spirit to drink. Even so, the body is not made up of one part, but of many. God made a very diverse body, and as educators, we should seek to understand all of God's people and his creation. Thank you.